Hello and welcome back everyone. If you have been following my wood-fired pizza oven construction project, I have published series of 8 videos from ground zero all the way to finishing. In this episode, I'll be going through how our first pizza baking session went and how amazing wood-fired pizzas came out. Stay tuned. Hi everyone. Today I'm really excited that we are going to have our first baking session with our pizza oven. So we had our curing process done. So today we'll just fire it up, let it go all the way above 550, 600, around that temperature. Obviously inside will be much hotter, and that should be more than enough to quickly get our pizzas cooked. Let's get started. We began with 2.5 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of dry yeast. And give it a good mix. Add a pinch of salt to flour and a couple of tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and then add yeast mixture to it. You can mix it with spoon, but eventually you would need human hands to knead it thoroughly and give that personal touch. The idea is to get kids involved. After all, every kid likes pizzas. You can add more water or flour as needed, but our dough should be fairly dry and non-sticky. Get your fingers or knuckles in there, then roll it in X formation, or for that matter Y or Z, as there's no right or wrong style here. Repeat till you get a smooth and cohesive big ball of pizza dough. Place dough into a greased mixing bowl. Apply some extra virgin olive oil to the surface, cover tightly, and then set aside to rise for about 90 minutes or overnight in the refrigerator. While dough is setting, let's fire up the oven. The idea is to feed it enough fire to get the temperature reading closer to 600, which would mean around 750 or 800 plus temperatures inside the oven. Here's a time lapse of temperature going from 0 to 600 degrees in about 20 seconds. Dough has been sitting nicely aside for about less than 2 hours now, and is ready for next step. We'll roll it a little bit more so that any air bubbles can escape. You would want the dough to be fluffy and bouncy. And to make sure it's absolutely ready for the oven, you can use the poke test, which is just what it sounds like. Give the dough a gentle but assertive poke, and if it springs back slowly, then it's ready. If it's faster, then it probably needs a bit more time. Now it's time to divide the dough into smaller portions depending on how many pizzas you are baking. You could spread some flour on a plain surface, then roll the dough on it a couple of times or in your hands to make equal-sized dough balls. At this stage, we are ready to roll. Looking at the temperature dial, we are almost hitting 600 degrees and we have one log left with the flame. Once the flame is gone, we can start the next phase. Let's move all the coal on one side and make some space for the pizzas. Now that we have moved the coals on one side, we're just gonna brush off all the dust on the other side, and this is where we would be able to cook our pizzas. Using a damp towel, let's clean the baking surface so that any extra coal dust is wiped down. The floor is nicely 750, in the middle around 825, 750. We can use a roller pin or use hands to flatten the dough, whatever is easier for you and you're comfortable with. We rolled the base to around 12 inches wide. Apply pizza sauce generously, leaving the edges blank. Put whatever toppings you like. We started with a few tomatoes cut into round flats, some basil and mozzarella cheese. That would give us nice margherita pizza. To get the pizza onto the pizza peel, apply some flour or cornmeal to the peel, and then using back and forth motion, get the pizza onto the peel. It would require some practice before you can master the art. And then similar motion to offload the pizza into the oven. Since the pizza would take just a couple of minutes to cook fully, you would want to rotate them inside the oven after around a minute mark to get an evenly cooked pizza. To rotate, using a small peel tool, lift up the pizza from one side, pull it and rotate. In terms of available cooking surface, I was able to bake two 12 to 13 inches pizzas simultaneously. It could have fit a third one, but that makes rotating and accessing the pizza more challenging. 2 is the ideal number to cook at the same time. The first one is already cooked. It probably took 2 minutes, around 2 minutes. We don't know exactly, but yeah, it was pretty quick. Okay, here's the za'atar one. Za'atar is generally a combination of dried oregano, thyme, and toasted sesame seeds, and has a herby and exotic flavor. Now it's time for tasting and eating. Pizzas turned out very nice, crispy base, toppings holding their freshness and flavor with woody and smoky flavors. Yes, it takes a lot of time and effort, but in the end, it's all worth it. Hopefully you enjoyed this Woodfired Pizza Oven series. I would greatly appreciate your feedback. And who said Woodfired Pizza Oven is only for pizzas? I'll see you next time with different baking menu.